I want to go through the Irreplaceable Service Manager chapter by chapter, and I want to add some content to it.
Yeah, I think that's probably the thing people don't know is that part, the add content part. Because you got some good stuff to put in since.
We've learned a lot since then.
Yes.
Right? But also, there's a lot of stories that I can't put in that book, or I didn't feel like it was a good idea.
There's probably a lot of stories we can't say on the air.
This is how it's going to go, okay? So are we doing it on Tuesdays?
Tuesdays.
What time on Tuesday?
9 a.m. Pacific.
So we're going to go live here, kind of similar to the way we did the tech tree.
Correct. It's the
but
same
it's just
slot.
going to be me in a chair. So the reason why I brought this out is to kind of explain how it's going to go. So I will probably have a cigar.
I like it.
And I will start every one of these episodes with a story that I couldn't tell, that I shouldn't tell, that things that I've experienced in the automotive industry. So, I mean, if you think about, I was 24 when I started going around and training or fixing service departments all over in God knows where. Like a lot of small towns, a lot of farm towns, all of that, right?
You spent more than your fair share of time in Iowa.
So the way that it's going to go is we're going to start off every one of these Irreplaceable Service Manager lectures, going through the book kind of chapter by chapter with a little story, a little, hey, here's my experiences. Now I've made a list. I've had an ongoing list of stories that I want to tell, and I'm going to kind of go through some of them and just kind of you tell me what you think. Okay. So I got a story. Dealer brought cashier to a 20-group meeting.
What?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out how to balance the drawer.
That same dealer fired his service manager without talking to me, and all the advisors and half of the techs left with the service manager, and he calls me. I'm in a different state, panicked, and I flew up. This is when I was young, so I was probably 25, 26 when this happened. Flew up there, no advisors and really no techs.
Oh my gosh.
So we're talking about a store that had 5 advisors. We're not talking
Went
about
from 5 to 0.
Yeah.
So they write some RO, so it's a 60, 70 RO a day.
There's
store.
a lesson in there that I'm going to talk. So every one of these has a lesson. I'm going to talk about the lesson. So 3 times I've caught office managers embezzling.
Wow. Okay.
2 of them left in handcuffs. I'm going to talk about that. And used car managers were involved in some of that.
It's got to be a dealer's worst nightmare.
Vixter firing her top advisor, and I didn't agree at the time, but a really good lesson was learned there. Hiring 38 techs in 45 days.
Okay, nice. I like it.
The time, a big dealer group, the son wanted us to help him, but he says, you got to meet my dad. It's like kind of like go kiss the ring kind of a thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I show up to this conference room. There's all these managers in there. They had more managers than you would know what to do with. Dad comes in, starts yelling at me, and was just interesting. And then at some point he says he calls me Jeff, and he thought I was Jeff Cowan.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. I wonder what he was so mad at Jeff for.
There's a story about all the cashiers leaving on Friday afternoon, but I won't. I'll leave that for behind the curtain.
So what you're saying is you recognize patterns?
One time a guy faked having cancer.
What?
Yeah. And I caught him. It's a fascinating story. I've kind of told that story before, but it's hilarious. One time a guy tried to blackmail me, but he had nothing on me. So then he just ended up threatening me.
Oh, yeah, I know that story. Weren't they trying to get you to do the dirt? That they would be able to blackmail
Well,
you
they wanted me to turn all my clients over, and kind of interesting. Nothing came of it. Nobody ever.
Nobody ever came at you with a baseball bat or anything like
nothing.
that? Yeah.
But they insinuated that was going to happen.
Interesting.
Incestual management. I got so many of those stories.
That sounds interesting.
Why?
Incestual?
Yeah. What do you think I mean by that? Wait, don't answer that. Let me just tell you, because you might take us off the rails.
It's safer. It's
like that thing where when I would go into to fix, the business or whatever, and I would say, "Hey, is anybody off limits?" And then the guy would go, "Yeah, well, the manager's my son-in-law."
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of that.
They also call that nepotism, right?
Yeah. Well, I like incestual.
Incestual is way catchier.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of Service Driving Revolution. We're uploading new stuff every day, so make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out. If you have a question you'd like us to answer on the show, call 8333-ASK-SDR and we'll answer your question on the show. That's 8333-ASK-SDR. For special deals on our books and training, head over to offers.chriscollinsinc.com. Now that's offers.chriscollinsinc.com. I'm Chris Collins, and I'll see you in the next video.